has given me familiarity. But I just want to say that I applaud the actions of Congress in standing up and expressing itself on this issue. I applaud what other public figures have done. But at the end of the day, Congress and the administration must go beyond resolutions and written things. We have to be a lot more forceful. This is a serious humanitarian matter, and we cannot sit back and simply condemn violence, whether something that happened before or something that happens in the future. I believe this: if we could rally the international community to prevent a slaughter in Libya, as one of the earlier speakers said, surely it would seem we could do the same here, and we must do that. As some of you know, I am an Arab American. My family's heritage is Lebanese. My grandparents came to this country really around the turn of the last century in search of a better life, and frankly because there was oppression in the places they lived, and they were greatly threatened. So in our heritage, our experience is so much like yours. When I was a public official, as a candidate and so on, I had the chance to work on many causes that related to my heritage. And I won't go into all of them here, but I want to use one really as both an example of something that has happened that I was part of, and maybe as a source of some encouragement to what you are trying to do. When I came to the Senate in 1994, it was about 11 years after the bombing of U.S. Marine soldiers in Lebanon. As an individual of Lebanese ancestry and now as a public figure, I felt obviously a certain high degree of sensitivity because of what had happened. Every time there was a story about people from Lebanon or Lebanese history in the media, the focus was on things about Lebanon that hardly made me feel good. So I know what it must feel like sitting where you are sitting today. But I also believe that there was a chance to change the U.S. relationship with Lebanon, and it needed to be changed, that there needed to be more engagement, that we needed to address problems that could help to both, on one hand, improve the bilateral relationship, but more importantly, to help set Lebanon on a hopefully better course. One of the big issues which we were dealing with was just opening up the ability for American citizens to travel to Lebanon, which, as some of you remember, was prohibited at that time. It seemed to me like a pretty straightforward matter. You had literally millions of Americans of Lebanese heritage, many with families that were in Lebanon who could not legally go to visit. Didn't mean they didn't go to visit. Members of virtually every family found ways to get there. But it wasn't a very comfortable situation, and it posed a lot of threat. So I went to work, and in the Senate, and I won't say this was a solo effort. We had other great allies who had knowledge of the situation or their own Lebanese heritage connections. But it was a process to try to educate colleagues